Hello, Aqua friends. Welcome to my channel. My name's Nicole, and I'm glad you're joining me today. If you want to grow your watercolor skills and decrease that learning curve, then subscribe to my channel because I literally post long form and short videos every week to help you achieve your goals. So let's get right into it and make a Mother's Day card. Okay, so I'm starting off with a piece of watercolor paper. It's about a 4x6 watercolor paper that I taped down so that I can get some clear borders around the edges. I thought that would be a nice effect. And we're working wet on wet. I'm using a size 12 round brush to wet the surface, and you want to take your time and make sure that your paper is well damp, and so I'm sort of just massaging the water in there. Now I have some blues and some purples, and I am going to make the fuzzy background. I am moving my brush in a circular fashion to mimic those bokeh lights that I see. So notice when we work wet on wet, that is a technique in watercolor where the paper is wet, and when we apply paint, we get soft, fuzzy edges. And so it's perfect for background effects. Now I'm increasing the amount of pigment I have to get some nice, pretty purple colors. And as you can see, I'm working in a circular fashion. Now with a damp brush, I'm lifting my paint. Okay, this is called lifting technique. I'm going over those circular shapes to make them a little brighter. Now, as you can see from the reference photo, there are some darker areas, some shadows, and I'm putting in some of those darker blues, some of the branches, and adding in those greeneries. So where I see some hints of green, that really nice bright tender greens, I'm adding that. So in the background, as you can see from the reference photo, there's tiny little petals. I'm using a chisel brush for the flowers. Just with the edges, I'm just dabbing it and adding in all these little petals. Our paper is still wet, and it does melt in to the background with nice soft edges. You can add as many petals to the background as you want. Our paper's wet, they will go on very softly with undefined edges. Now with my sap green, I'm coming in with my script liner brush, and you can draw in all of the main branches to the flower. These script liner brushes are fantastic. They were from Amazon. The price is really good. They're less than a size 1, and I'll leave the link in the description below. Now you're gonna let your whole paper dry, and then I'm coming in and I'm putting in a very light watery mixture for the main petals that I see in the reference photo. Those petals are open and they're not as bright of a purple as the ones that haven't opened up yet. Then with my chisel brush, they make perfect petals, as you can see. Just by dabbing them, I'm going along my green branch, and I'm just going down, adding in all those petals. And it's really that simple. That's why I love to use a chisel brush to make petals. It just makes the perfect shape. So that is the main in focus branch of the petals, and I'm just going back over some of them to get them a little darker. There are smaller ones in the background. I'm just using the very tip of my brush to add in a very softer color of the purple for those hanging buds. So I'm adding in those very dainty, smaller little branches that I see in the background just with the tip of my brush. And that really is how simple this project is. You're gonna let that whole thing dry, and then we'll take the tape off. We have this fantastic white border. So this is the perfect size for a card, the perfect project for a Mother's Day card. But we're not stopping there. I'm gonna trim up these edges of the white border, and then I am gonna put it on a cardstock. I'm using double-sided tape in order to secure the painting onto my cardstock. And as you can see, I recycle when I don't like a painting. I just use the other side. Okay, so that's how simple it is. Place that onto your cardstock. You now have a Mother's Day card. So for the inside, I'm going to take another piece of paper. This is just white cardstock, and this is where we can write our message on. So same thing, double-sided tape. And we mount it on the inside. Now you can handwrite a message. I'm left-handed. I have horrible penmanship, so I'm actually going to use stamps. So I have these cute little Mother's Day stamps, and I love these clear blocks because you could see exactly when you're going to place your message. So I just picked a couple of things. I'm going to stamp my paper. You can decide on where you're going to put the main message. That's what I'm doing. I'm deciding, I'm just going to go with right in the middle. With stamps, you want to press down firmly and lift straight up so that you don't get any smears. And one extra little added touch, I have these cute little spring flowers, and I'm adding a flower onto the side there. And then all I have to do is sign my card and give it to my mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think in the comments below.